The MF Empire podcast is brought to you by MaxFit Meals. With over 30 meal selections to choose from, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, MaxFit Meals is the premier meal prep company on the planet. You can literally take care of all your meal needs with MaxFit Meals and know that you're getting high quality, delicious, nutritious meals day in and day out. And right now, if you go to maxfitmeals.com and you use coupon code MFEmpire, you can get $120 off your first 8 weeks, your first 8 subscription orders, $120 off with code MFEmpire at maxfitmeals.com. And you guys, MaxFit Meals are literally the best way to get your health in check and know what you're getting day in and day out. So MaxFit Meals is a great place to go. Go there today. MaxFit Meals, we focus on the food to give you the time to focus on your passions. And Chris, what else is the MF Empire brought to you by?
Hey, yeah, we're also brought to you by Meek Marketing. If you are looking to build your brand, scale your brand, either locally or beyond, they will take care of it for you. They did it for us at MaxFit. You can find them at meekmarketing.com or on all social media avenues at meek_marketing. I personally highly recommend Brian and the whole team at Meek Marketing. Key part of the success here at MaxFit Empire, and we want the same for you. So hit them up, meekmarketing.com.
And if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. It really helps get the message out there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave us a comment below in any of the videos and give us some tips or ideas for upcoming episodes. And if you're a business owner and you would love to be on the MF Empire podcast, go to mfempirepodcast.com and hit us up. Send us an email, or you can reach us at MF Empire Pod on social media. Send us a DM and let us know a little bit about your story, and we'd love to have you on. We are here to help businesses grow, and that's the only way we can do this is with your help. And thank you so much ahead of time if you rate, review, or any of those things. Thank you so much. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the MF Empire podcast, where we help business professionals and leaders like you take your business to the next level. In each episode, we bring you expert insights and practical advice on how to grow your business, increase revenue, become a better leader, and achieve your goals. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to expand your existing business, this podcast is for you. Join us as we explore the latest trends, strategies, and tools to help you succeed in today's competitive marketplace. Let's get started on your journey to business growth. Now, here are your hosts, Chris Spencer and Brian Meek. Chris, how you doing today?
Brian, I'm doing amazing. How are you doing today?
I can't complain, man. It's another beautiful day here on the Central Coast, and love doing my stuff out here. Love working with you guys in the MF Empire. So
yeah, we love having you, man.
Today's episode 7 of
the amazing MF Empire podcast.
That's right. And we're still doing our rundown, our summary of the business classic, leadership, everything that you need to know book by Jim Collins, Good to Great. And today we're going to focus on chapter 5, which to you, I know for you is one of the most important things, or one of your favorite chapters, the Hedgehog Concept.
Sure.
And one of the quotes from this book, my favorite quote from this chapter is, "The fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing." Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to focus on. So before we get into like the circles and what the Hedgehog Concept is, maybe run me through how you have utilized the difference between being a fox, and fox knows many things, running around bouncing all over the place, to becoming a hedgehog leader, a hedgehog business owner.
I think everyone is familiar with the tortoise and the hare, and the hedgehog concept is very similar to that. And it immediately made me think of the old story of the tortoise and the hare. Hare jams ahead, burns himself out, goes in all the different directions to think he's finishing the race first. The tortoise steadily moves along and ends up winning the race with consistent, steady momentum.
Right.
So for me, it's not getting caught up into all the fancy things or over-expanding and getting into maybe sandwiches and getting off of our core concept as a company.
Sure.
But that's how we've utilized it. I've just stuck with the main core things: customer service.
Sure.
Having top-notch premium products, whether it's our supplements and our food, and in basically forming our core group of products that we sell in the MaxFit market, and knowing and being the best in the world at that. And that's how we definitely have incorporated the Hedgehog concept in our brand and our journey.
If you're not familiar with the Hedgehog concept, it's made up of 3 circles. And if you're familiar with the Venn diagram, I'm going to bring up the graphic for you now. But if you're listening, I'm going to give you kind of the outline of everything. It's 3 circles, and all 3 circles intersect each other. Circle number 1 is, what are you passionate about? Circle number 2 is, what can you be the best in the world at? What can you be the best in the world at? And number 3 is, what drives your economic engine? And you have to sit down, you have to answer all of these questions individually. And then wherever those 3 things meet, that is going to be your Hedgehog concept. So when we sat down this year, and we decided what the new Hedgehog concept was going to be for 2023 for the MF Empire, kind of in general, but specifically we sat down with the team from MaxFit Market, and we went over all 3 of these things. It was pretty apparent what we kind of had an idea of what we wanted to go into, but give the listeners an idea of like what each circle means to you. Number 1, what are you passionate about? What is MaxFit? What is the MF Empire passionate about? So me being the founder of the MF Empire, and now having all these different valuable people on board of the bus to success that we've been on, my personal passion has evolved over the years, and actually by following the Hedgehog concept, I've actually been able to understand my passions more. And you and I were having a conversation earlier today about store design. The whole process of building stores, designing stores, running stores is a great rush for me, and also the expansion that we've encountered the last couple of years in the purchasing of major equipment, new locations. I thrive on that, so I have a great understanding of what makes me as a person incredibly happy. Sure. And happiness, I think, is encompassed in achievements that we've made. So for me, it's the store design. I'm passionate about store design. There's some things I'm not passionate about, and I've added great team players, and people have joined the team that are very valuable and shore up that side of things. But running the stores, the marketing, the branding, the build out of the stores, the design of the stores, and all of that is what I'm very passionate about. And I think it's what early on made us successful. We didn't necessarily have the customer base, but we had the branding, the imaging, and the service that's all encompassed in that whole model, right? And what would you think? What would you say MaxFit as a brand? The brand itself is like the thing that it's the most passionate about. You have personal passions for your brand, but what is the brand the most passionate about? I think to a certain degree, I'm sensitive to people's feelings when they walk into the store, and I've always been created in a welcoming environment, and I'm passionate about creating good looking, beautiful stores, have great products that actually, believe it or not, work, food that's very tasteful, but also having this very welcoming, community-based store environment that you enjoy coming to every day. Because there was places that, having a chaotic childhood, parents fighting or whatever, I had little safe spots. I know, safe space, but there were places like the skateboard shop, Bill's Wheels, Bill Ackerman he had a store here in Salinas and Wattsville. I think those are gone. He focuses on Santa Cruz, but these were places that that were shelter for me, and I felt welcome. I felt excited about going to. The smell, the colors. And I wanted to, when I became an adult, I wanted to recreate that in my business. So I really shout out to Bill's Wheels in Santa Cruz, local, Santa Cruz, Monterey County, legends in terms of like legends. Yeah, legends in terms of like entrepreneurship. Even for somebody that wasn't a skater, I know what Bill's Wheels is. It's like Quicksilver for locally. You wore a Bill's Wheels shirt, even if you couldn't even skateboard, right? And there's just like you can buy Quicksilver and you don't surf. You just support that brand, right? But I want to be that. I wanted to be that. So I set down the journey of basically emulating Bill, but in Bill's Wheels, but in my genre, which was fitness at the time, was more fitness, bodybuilding related, but softened it, made it more welcoming, made it a place kids more approachable, more approachable kids. It wasn't intimidating. I've seen kids grow into young adults now. Actually, I was in my Monterey location. There was a guy who was now
he's been a police officer almost a decade, but I remember him coming in as a teenager, and he still comes into Max Fit. So it's the story of my life. And it's it's become the story of other people's lives. They've become lifelong customers. I'm passionate about it. I'm getting a little warm and fuzzy even thinking about it right now, man, because
big things coming. So it's a good time to like think about those passions, right?
Right. Yeah, as I reflect back on my life, I'm happy that I didn't deviate. I'm not our core values are not to scam people, not to have some great business today and then leverage all that trust that we built with our customers. And trust is part of, my passion. I want everyone to trust me. I can't always hit a home run every time, whether it's with customer service or if there's a seal broken that came from, a manufacturer, but I can promise you that you will not get attitude if, trying to return something,
you're not going to question like, hey,
no, it's immediately, we'll take care of you. We apologize and make good on any mistakes we made. And if you ever have a bad, customer service experience, I want to know about it, and I will immediately either it requires, a retraining, if it requires some sort of
you always
change.
try to make it right.
But it's more important to me that I take this personally. I take it as serious as a heart attack, and that I know it's hard to bring that all together in terms of like the Hedgehog concept, but that is my Hedgehog concept.
Yeah, it's what you're passionate about,
and things get a little bit more. This business has gotten a lot more complicated, a lot more moving parts than I ever expected. We offer a lot more services, whether it's our smoothie bar, the meal prep, the supplements, the apparel. Doesn't sound that complicated, but it's a lot of moving parts go into all that kind of stuff. And I want the loyalty people given to me. I want that reciprocated with the trust that you've given me, and I take that very seriously. And that's a huge responsibility. And as our Hedgehog concept, I'm staying in that lane.
Sure,
that's my tortoise. I stay appreciative. I'm not going to start selling you insurance. I'm not going to start what is that stuff? The cryptocurrency. I'm not going to start selling you NFTs. As I gained your trust. So I guess I can kind of put a period right there. But that's all circled in and joined together in my Hedgehog concept.
So a lot of people, they have passions or whatever. But this is the next question to me is not the most important. They're all very important, but this is the one that differentiates you from your competition, and that's what can you be what can you be the best in the world at? And for me as somebody who's a videographer or marketer or whatever, I know what I can be the best in the world at. You know what you can be the best in the world at. Max Fit knows what it can be the best in the world at. But for somebody that's struggling, that thinks they swing a hammer or they work at a fast food restaurant or whatever, what's one of the things that you would tell them that you would be the best in the world at? What's one of the things you would tell somebody that is looking to become the best in the world at something that,
some advice maybe.
Yeah. Like if you're making fries at, a fast food restaurant, make the best fries, right?
This is something I tell my employees all the time, and part of my French, give a shit.
Yeah.
Learn your craft. So if you've taken a job at Max Fit making blends or at a restaurant making French fries, like you stated, or swinging a hammer, give a shit. Try to learn the job, because you might gain a passion for carpentry, right? And my dad was a contractor, did a lot of carpentry. I brushed it all off, and then now, earlier today I was hanging a door and framing it and trying to do the best I can at that basic craft, which not everyone can do, but when you give your all to whether it's something simple like hanging a door and trimming it out and it comes out nice, there's a tremendous amount of self-confidence which builds builds that passion in you to give a shit about
That's why they
what
tie
you're
in
doing.
with each other, right?
They really do. So if you make the perfect smoothie, and even a well designed drink fridge where all the colors and everything's lined up perfect. Customers can access. There's everything's represented. Even that to me is a work of art. And the manager Josh out in Monterey is doing a fantastic job. And I can tell now he's gained a passion for stocking the shelves. But a well merchandised store is a piece of art.
It's more welcoming.
It's more welcoming.
It's less chaotic, right?
Yeah, but that's where something that I think, my place on the bus of Max Fit, of this retail little empire we're building, is the art aspect. And it sounds insane that a drink cooler could look like art, but it really does. And that's the difference. Those key details, the focus on the small details of the whole brand. Each thing goes hand in hand. So give a shit about what you're doing. Going back to that,
it's a great answer.
It's really I don't like to cuss.
Simple, but
yeah, it really is that simple.
Right.
Give a shit, show up, learn your craft.
And then finally, last is what drives your economic engine. And for Max Fit, we don't want, like I said earlier, we sat down, we decided what our Hedgehog Concept was going to be. And the Hedgehog Concept, we'll get to number 3 here because of this, is provide the best retail health store experience, steadily increasing the average dollar per transaction per customer. So when we talk about what we're passionate about, we are passionate about helping people with their health, right? Max Fit.
Sure.
We are passionate about being the best in the world when it comes to a retail store experience. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about making sure that everything's front faced, looks great, it's well presented. We have the best products, the best prices, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to pay the bills. You got to make money.
Sure.
And this is where a lot of people miss. A lot of people will get the other two. I love doing this and I can be the best at it, but I don't charge enough, or I don't pay attention to my margins, or I don't pay. That's one of the things you have to pay attention to.
This other side of the coin, I'm too greedy, and I'm just trying to make too much money off of everybody,
which is going to reduce the other 3.
Yeah,
there's got to be a balance. We'll bring the graphic back up, but if you see that center circle where all 3 of them are kind of touching each other, there's something in the middle there. That's your Hedgehog Concept. And for Chris, economic engine, obviously we know, like, we want people to spend money, but we've talked about in the past, we talked about raising prices and reducing prices. We are always very creative when it comes to pricing, specifically the meals and the blends, because, we're very mindful of the margins. So we have to, when we're going in inflationary periods, we have to make adjustments. But we didn't, when everybody else was raising their prices at restaurants and everybody else was raising prices across the board because of quote unquote inflation, which is real, by the way. I'm not using that as it's not real. I'm saying that was their excuse. We came up with more creative ways to keep prices the same. And we found out that, hey, maybe we are using too much of one ingredient, or we can find a better price on that ingredient by buying more.
Streamline our manufacturing.
Right. Got to become more efficient.
Say if we're doing one amazing Indian dish, but it's eating up
because it's one dish. It's 5 different things that go into one dish. But
if we're using chicken, we created a streamlined process for using that same chicken. We cook it in bulk without getting too much into our manufacturing process, but not wasting time on unnecessary labor, streamlining it, which keeps the cost down, because labor is typically your biggest expense,
cost,
whether it's the stores, whether it's manufacturing. That way we can keep. It's us giving a shit about. I guess that's the theme of this. The Hedgehog give a shit, right? Us giving a shit about our customers. I grew up, moved out of my house, lived in a travel trailer. I couldn't afford hardly anything. I have the mindset of always struggling for $1. I always want to keep people fed. I want them fed in a healthy manner with premium, well thought out food like we offer. And I just don't want to cater to wealthy people only. I want everyone to be able to consume our food, and that's me giving a shit. Goes back to my Hedgehog Concept of actually giving a shit about my customers. And I'm probably saying that word too much.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, like you have to give a shit. That's what this is. The Hedgehog Concept really is that when you distill it down, it's like actually giving a shit about what you do. And when it comes to figuring out your Hedgehog Concept, do you feel like is the best place out of the three, the best place where people should start? Or should they just do what we've done and what we recommend typically to people when they ask us about this is sit down and do the exercise it all at one time and figure out what you can be passionate about, what you're the best in the world at, what drives your economic engine.
Well, I think hopefully people, that are listening to us now have some sort of either a business going, a career going, or they're working at a job. So they already have a understanding of that job, but this causes my intent, hopefully yours is the same, is like a looking in the mirror type opportunity. And I would say really getting that self-awareness of what you can be the best in the world at, and then diving 100% into that, and then not deviating too much, right?
Sure.
Not trying to take shortcuts.
Sure.
And understanding that the journey of 1,000 miles, starts with one step, and then it might take you, a decade, like it did for me, before I broke through I was able to make any traction climbing the wall to success, and saw any sort of even sunlight or hope of maybe that I'd be something with my life. So that's another thing I really want to talk about: the tortoise and the hare, the fox and the hedgehog. Like, whatever you can do, there is no such thing as success overnight. Even if you get success overnight, you're not going to be ready for it.
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. I am blessed that I was a very, very slow to take off. Had to close locations. Had to reinvent myself. Had to almost at one point move backwards, like backslide, and then start again. And like the phoenix, we rose and we learned, and we came back stronger. So I'm sitting here after starting this business. We're having this conversation. I started down this road in 2004. Almost, it's 19 years, give or take, that I've been doing this, and just now I'm really seeing the fruits of this success. And the fruits are actual, I'm not talking even monetary success, because that's never been a huge motivator for me. The fruits are the success, or are everything seems to be working in sync now. All the brick by brick accumulation of knowledge of the systems that we've created are allowed us to really cement the need for these systems, streamline the ability to create new systems,
hire better people,
and then have people around us that give a shit about systems, right? And like me to give a shit about systems. I used to ad-lib everything, and now it creates a lot of freedom for expansion, and it's actually becoming exciting.
Yeah, when you have a plan, it's easy. When you have a Hedgehog Concept, that's your plan.
Sure.
That's one of your plans. It's like, hey, this is what we do. And then you just plan for how to be successful based off of that. So like you said, you don't go and make sandwiches or salads, because that's not going to fit in, but you make bomb food, or you make great smoothies.
Or in our situation, we're a retail center, so we find somebody, we white label it if that's what our customers want. We add
the sandwich, but you let somebody else do the work for you. You bring it in, and then it's done. Instead of having to hire, train, all that stuff.
And we focus on our staffing, customer service, our store design, and the whole process. That's our Hedgehog. We don't have to control every facet of our manufacturing. We can work with quality people, vet these people, and become even better, and communally build our brands together and kick butt, as a whole.
Yeah. So back to what you were saying about no success overnight. I have this conversation with people a lot when it comes to like becoming viral on social media. If virality, that's like the success of social media. Virality is your goal, and it happens overnight. And especially if you're a business owner, are you really going to be prepared for that? Like, what happens if you get 50,000 people that hit your website and you can't sustain that growth? They want to buy stuff from you. You don't have the product to sell them. So, virality and quote unquote overnight success has a lot of drawbacks as well. It's not just all positive. So what would you suggest to somebody if they find themselves straying away from their Hedgehog Concept? What would you suggest that they do?
Get back on track. Don't do it. And if you have done it, reassess what you're going, trim the stuff, the extras that are a deviation from your Hedgehog Concept, and then get back to the core basic concepts of the Hedgehog. what can you be in the best? What's your passion? Start. It's okay to restart. I think
or reevaluate. Like we do it like once a year.
Yeah,
it's a good thing. I think.
Sure, and personally and professionally, you should always reevaluate yourself and hit the restart button, because we're human beings and nobody in this world is perfect. Right. Not one soul ever was perfect. And we always need to recenter. And this Hedgehog concept is a way, it's your path to recenter. Like, this is your starting point.
That's why there's a middle. There's a guiding light for you to go get back to.
And it's easy. Sometimes you do deviate to a certain degree, but this will spank you and get you right back into get back right into what you initially started on this journey. Right. So it's like it's a constant reflection. It's a constant looking in the mirror, and I can't live without it. And I think the Hedgehog concept, it's the road less traveled. It's the road less glamorous, but it's the road that will actually take you to where you want to be, which is inevitable success in your
or happiness in general, right? Like
success. Monetary success, professional success is one thing, right? And I happen to like the monetary success because I can actually create more.
But what do you like more, the money or the less stress that it's causing you by having these things in place? Which one is now becoming more valuable?
The less stress.
Because it allows you to focus on the things to make more money. Right? Making more money doesn't necessarily
money is more
mean
opportunity of creating more jobs,
helping more people,
given to the community.
Absolutely.
If someone comes and says, "Will you sponsor my, my son's soccer team?" Like, sure, no problem.
Right.
Or like, I couldn't even sponsor my gas money to get to work. Right. It gives me a lot of pride. And as you know, we'll keep this real short. I'm not an athlete. I didn't play sports. My kids are both deep into sports, and I see the camaraderie. I see all the values of it, and something that I was kind of, coming from my background, and probably a source of envy of people that were jocks because they had all the good stuff, and a dislike for that. Now I'm like, man,
make it happen. Go out there.
Somebody calls me who's volunteering their time. Hey, will you give to the AYSO, or you give to my son's travel league, because we need people, whatever,
coaches, uniforms.
Let's make
whatever.
it happen. But I can't do that if I don't have the freedom to create more streams of income from MaxFit via our Hedgehog, right?
Sure.
That's it creates. In this country today, there's always like a certain stigma with wealth or wealth creation. Wealth creation, people like Brian and myself and all the people that are out here, creating jobs out of nothing that didn't exist before. I'm leasing spaces that causes, landlords and, PG&E guys to come by to either buy food, to either service our. So it's a big circle, and it feels good, honestly, to be part of an organic system that keeps this world people fed. It keeps the taxes paid for the roads, to be paved. So I'm not going to go any deeper, but for me, there is a greater satisfaction from that, like to be an upright citizen in a country or even a county like Monterey County, and doing the right thing every day of my life, to the best of my abilities.
Awesome. So if you find yourself, you're a business owner, and you find yourself kind of falling into this place where you need to recenter, go ahead and just think about those 3 questions, write down your answers, get with your team, get with the people that are the most important in your business, get together and do this as a group, because you'll find out that, like, you as a leader, and I think we get this and get into this in the next chapter, but as a leader, you need to include as many people in these things as possible. So the more people you include, the more buy-in that you get from them, the more you're going to get, the more success you're going to get, better results you're going to get when you roll this Hedgehog concept out, because it's going to be a big differentiator if you've never done this for your business. So, if you have any questions about how to do the concepts or whatever, you can either check out the book. I'll put the link in our description and in our bios or whatever. And or you can always DM us. You can reach out to us at mfempirepodcast.com. You can DM us at mfempirepod. Ask us any questions you want. And as we get out of here, I just want to say, make sure that you like, share, follow, rate, review, all the great things that we ask from you. That's the fee that we ask. That's the only thing that really can help get this message out there. We can help more business owners. That's what all this is about. And as we get out of here, Chris, what's the one thing that you would say to anybody that's looking to, really dive deep into this Hedgehog concept? I think you probably said it a million times already, but what is that one thing?
Oh, you're thinking of
give a shit.
Giving a shit. Yeah, you read my mind.
Yeah.
Giving a shit. And as a natural procrastinator, do yourself a favor. Really, please do yourself a favor.
Get shit done.
That's where you get it done. That's where you create new pathways in your brain. And I say, and giving a shit gives you freedom.
Right
it
on.
really does. So
Take us out of here.
thank you guys. This has been another fantastic episode of the MF Empire podcast.
Deuces.